Hi, my name's Con Christopoulos. Thank you so much for asking what is the pitch. Beautiful words, such simple words, yet they created so much hope for me. I wanted to do this video to give you a rundown, to give you my pitch for my movie, and to give you a rundown of the manifesto of it, and to create a level of intimacy immediately, and so you can look at me face to face and see who I am and the environment I live in, know immediately as much as you can who you're dealing with. And also I've approached so many people in regards to this. I don't know how many Hollywood people, how many business people I've approached to exec produce my second film as well as my first one, and I never get a reply. Ron Howard's replied, you've replied, and that's a beautiful thing. Tarantino's agents have replied. I've been up Tarantino's ass for years on this, but his agents love the idea and whatever. They won't give it to him. Now, anyway, I'm jumping the gun. Let me tell you about the story. Let me tell you a quick breakdown of it, of the manifesto. Sorry, I'm just excited. I'm doing this totally spontaneous. I got to go to work this afternoon. If I don't do this now, I can't afford to let it slide. I got to jump on it. So forgive my improvisational spontaneity. But anyway, the movie is called Mother Hunter. It's taken me nearly 10 years to write. On the tail end of my first film, which took me 28 years to make, I'm an independent nobody, a labourer in construction here in Australia, Brisbane, Australia. We got no film, or next to no film industry here, and I got no networks. It took me 28 years to piece the first one together. Some dude interviewed me. I feel like I sound like a madman, but I will send you that interview in Messenger as well. Now, Mother Hunter. It took me about 9 years to write. I needed to come up with a really good climax. I was stuck. In the meantime, Roger Ward, who is revered by Quentin Tarantino, became my mentor in writing Mother Hunter. He said it's the best opening scene he's ever read. It's writing from the gut, whatever. And I've been up his ass to give it to Tarantino, but he's saying it's a breach of confidentiality stuff. So anyway, what Mother Hunter is about is, as I've mentioned to you in the message, a guy's been wrongfully incarcerated for years, and upon release, all he wants to do is hug his mother. But first, he must save the world. Now, what the story of Mother Hunter is about is a man who has been wrongfully he's been pursuing his dream of becoming a writer. After years of failure, he just thinks, screw this, I want to go and hug my mother. Just to get some love, and see her because she's old and frail now. He just wants to hug her. So he finally gets some money together to go visit his mother, and he gets arrested at the airport. Doesn't even make it on the plane, and they lock him up for 14 years. The whole time he claims his innocence. Now, while he's doing his time, when he's locked in his cell, he does what they call in jail head miles. Head miles is when you just start thinking and you travel in your mind. Head miles. And he does head miles back to when he was a baby. When he was a kid, and his mother used to chase him around the house and finally catch him and say, I'm going to eat you, I'm going to eat you. Right? And it's fucking his head up, man. He needs to get preoccupied. So as a form of self-therapy, he decides to inflict pain upon himself, with the theory being that if that pain may well override the mental anguish. So he needs to inflict serious pain on himself. So what he does is he does a deal with the top dog in the prison to get all of the inmates in his unit, 60-odd inmates, to queue up before breakfast, lunch and dinner, and give him a punch to the head without any retaliation from him. And this happens. And over the years, 2 or 3 years, he gets like a leather face. He gets scarred, and the punches need to be more brutal for him to feel anything. He's almost at a stage where he enjoys it after a few years. 2 Tibetan Shaolin martial arts masters come into the unit, jailed for life for smuggling in 25 tons of cocaine into Australia. They see this guy, and they've never seen anything like it. Now, they approach him, and they say, look, as martial arts masters, we consider it our divine destiny to find the ultimate pupil to train. And we know what those qualities to look for are. You have those qualities, but you must utter 2 words from your heart for us to know that it's you. Excuse me, and we can't tell you what these two words are. So Leatherface, this dude, for now I'm calling him Leatherface. Leatherface says, teach me. And the monks say, they are the words. So they take him on, and over the next 14 years, they train him to be the most awesome martial arts Shaolin dude that you've ever seen in your life. In prison, he becomes a trophy kill. He's so tough that the life is to give themselves clout in there, whatever, try and kill him, and they just can't kill him. Upon release, he gets out. Gets a shitty job quickly. His mother's still alive. All he wants to do is still hug her. So he finally saves up his money again. In the meantime, he's bought a gold lottery ticket, and he wins a $20+ million. So when he rings his mother to say, I'm coming to visit you, his brother or father picks up the phone and says, your mother's gone, something about $22 million ransom, otherwise we'll never see your mum again. So Leatherface goes on a rampage in the underworld looking for his mother. And whenever he finds someone who he thinks may be attached to kidnapping his mother, he's so angry that that journey of him finding his mother manifests itself out of his memories from him doing head miles in prison, which is his mother grabbing him saying, I'm going to eat you, I'm going to eat you. So what Leatherface does is to give these people who may be associated with kidnapping his mother any chance of surviving, even if they do give him information, he makes them eat an own body part of theirs. And the closer he gets to the link that has actually taken his mother, the more severe his demands are. Now, in the meantime, psycho copycat dudes are out there in society because Leatherface gets so much notoriety because all his victims are alive, that he becomes the obsession of psychiatrists, detectives, the newspapers, and even social psychos who commit more severe copycat atrocities to try and get the limelight. And Leatherface feels guilty for this. So while he's pursuing his mother's kidnappers, he's taken it upon himself to eliminate these copycat psycho killers, psycho dudes, because he feels like it's his responsibility. In the meantime, he gets bailed up by two detectives who say, look, we know what the fuck you're doing, blah, 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 blah. If we lock you up now, you'll never see your mother. We can give you your mother. We can let you hug your mother. We know where she is. But first, you got to do this for us, which is save the world. And the cops explained that for 20+ years, they've been hunting down LEOP, L-E-O-P, the League of Extraordinary Psychos. And the League of Extraordinary Psychos are responsible for the 30,000+ people that go missing in Australia every year. Now, they consist of army generals, high-ranking priests, the Prime Minister, whatever. And the cops say that these guys are so powerful, they've already threatened us, they've already cut my partner's nuts off, they've already threatened to kill my daughter, blah, blah, blah. And we know if we act on this, we're going to die, they're going to kill our families, whatever. We imprisoned you on purpose. We set you up. We sent in those martial arts monks because we needed someone with so much rage that they could handle exterminating LEOP on their own, or at least have a chance. We created you. Now you've got to get rid of LEOP, and if you do that, you will hug your mother. Now the cops explained to him, in the meantime, a local Shaolin martial arts group comes to the fore. They come out of the woodworks. And they're just local unemployed guys who have dedicated their lives to the art of Shaolin Kung Fu. And they're so good that this group is called the Undefeateds. They need to taste defeat. And their only hope of tasting defeat is taking on Leatherface. They find Leatherface and tell Leatherface, if you beat any one of us, we'll become your disciples and help you hunt for your mother. Leatherface voluntarily takes all four of them on at the same time and hammers them. They instantly bow to him and become his disciples. They're his warriors in this quest for his mother. Now they all band together, and the cops eventually tell them, the two detectives, that the League of Extraordinary Psychos have an annual meeting at Stonehenge once a year on a full moon. And at the head of the meeting is the Prime Minister, is the President of America, because he's the leader of the World LEOP, the International League of Extraordinary Psychos. And under his chair, where he does his speech, is a nuclear bomb button, because it's found out through due process of the film that LEOP, the League of Extraordinary Psychos, were involved in creating the atomic bomb. So if any of their atrocities that they do to the people, which is kidnapping children, all terrible stuff, okay, I don't need to explain it to you. If they're ever found out, they just press that button and the world explodes. Now they've timed it, the two detectives have timed it, that it'll take about 21 seconds for the president to reach down and press that button the moment they know that they're under attack and they're about to be exposed. So they've got 21 seconds to kill 30 odd members of LEOP and the president before he blows up the world. Now, I needed to come up with a climax, and when my dad died, I couldn't be there. So I finally got there, and where he died, I sat down and I had a breakdown and I wrote the climax there. And Kent Hill, who went on to become my co-writer, said, man, that's some sort of divine intervention shit. A human hasn't written this climax. Anyway, Leatherface and his warriors say a prayer. They look to the sky before they attack the meeting of LEOP, okay, to kill them all. The skies open up suddenly. Jesus appears. Now, when Jesus was crucified, his last words were to his mother, do not hate them, for they know not what they do, right? When Jesus returns in my film, he says, the skies open up, and he says, kill them all, for they know exactly what they've done. And he rains down this energy, this power, in the form of a cross, and burns crosses into everyone's foreheads. And they become warrior angels, warriors of Christ. And then they proceed to kill all the members of LEOP. And Leatherface gets to the president, before he gets to blow up the world. So he does that, and I'm not going to tell you whether Leatherface gets to hug his mother or not at the end. That may be pending. But that's the outline of the story. I've got it registered with the Australian Writers Guild. There's a lot more to the manifesto I can tell you. Now, one thing I've learned from watching your Facebook page is you've educated me. Your page has educated me. And the main reason I called you is something I learned from your page, which was to recognize value. I hope that you recognize the value in me, and I hope that you give me the chance to tell you in further detail this journey's manifesto, because its manifesto itself has value. There's internationally important names involved, etc., etc. Now, as far as my passion goes, I'm a construction labourer. I've made my first feature film. This is going to be my second one, and I want to go pro. I can pull this off for about $300,000. We need Nicolas Cage. Roger Ward's going to be in it. Google him. Quentin Tarantino loves him. Tarantino is aware of me, man. He's aware of my project. Brian Trenchard Smith, who is an influence in Tarantino's movie-making life, he's going to direct this if I can get the money. He said, man, get the money and I'll direct it. Simple. So I've got Tarantino and Roger Ward, two dudes that influenced, Brian Trenchard Smith and Roger Ward, two dudes that influenced Tarantino. Now look, cut a long story short, I know we're all busy people. I need about 300 grand. If you could give me 3 million, we can make an even better project. But I could pull this off on about $300,000 if I have to. I hope you recognize the value in this, because I need to make this work. I've got to get out of construction. I've got degenerative wear in my lower spine, bursitis in both knees, bursitis both shoulders. I'm fucked. I will be a cripple if I don't do anything other than construction by the time I'm 55. I have a mortgage. I need to do this. I can't let this dream go. There's a lot more to this story that I could say to try and impress you, but I'll keep it short for now. If you want to hear more, please let me know. I can send you the script. If you want to hear more of the background of my journey, to instill in you a sense of faith in my potential, because I want to I want to help you make some money. I want to help me make some money, serious money. I want to come up with a product that's the cheapest to make, that's marketable to the world. And you Americans know how to fucking do that. Us Australians don't know how to do that. So I hope this is the beginning of a beautiful journey. If not, thank you for creating the hope, and stay tuned. You will see Mother Hunter. And I hope you're not one of the dudes who thinks, shit, he approached me about that, I should have jumped on it. Love and strength. Thank you for creating hope. And please let me know if you want to hear more about my journey and this project. And also, I'll send you a link to that interview, just to give you a bit of insight and whatever. All the best. I got to go to work. Thank you very much. Hope to hear from you.